right, folks, let's get back into this week's review of The Walking Dead. This is episode 15 from season 11. This episode is Trust. And yeah, there's a lot of that needing to go around right now because a lot of people are saying in order to do this, in order for me to do that, I'm going to need a little bit of trust. And some of this trust is actually going out on the limb by just simply saying, you know who I am, you know how I roll. Trust me, I got this. And there's a lot of that. But starting this episode off, Lance Hornsby is at the apartment complex and he's like, hold on. Gabriel and Aaron, how are you two the only two alive? That doesn't make sense. Like, you two? Of all people, you two are still alive. And, you know, Daryl comes to the defense and says, like, they've been out on the road a long time. They know how to handle themselves. So he kind of like, all right, I guess I'll go with it. But he's super suspicious the entire episode. But ultimately, not only because they're tested, because he also starts to think about their old alliances and how that may potentially be a problem. I mean, this guy's definitely wearing his detective hat the entire episode and trying to get down to the bottom of it of where's the Commonwealth guns? Where are they? Who has them and whatnot? Which we have a sense of clue from the previous episode, don't we now, right? But anyway, with that being said, he automatically thinks that I think we need to go to Hilltop because we need to let them know that there are dangerous people out there that may be coming to them next. But really, he's going because he thinks they may have him, so he needs to do a quick little escape of their entire complex or, you know, community, whatever it is. With that being said, folks, something you all have been wanting for a long time, and myself as well, too. It's been hinted at in previous episodes. But that comic book love, oh, it's going on now and things are getting spicy and I can't wait for you all to check it out. But things are getting interesting. Something fresh out of the comments that I know that you all have been wanting as much as myself. And I think it's going to be some of the best work on the show going forward. Now, Rosita, you know, because she just had to go through that little let's just call it what it is, that suicide mission, her and Daryl to get that money for Sebastian, but she's still bothered about her interaction with April, you know, the girl that she met inside of there, and thus she's trying to get answers to this, but also she's trying to expose this because Sebastian's clearly up to no good and the whole family and whatnot. So what other better way to leak a story but to give it to Connie and Kelly here, where she starts to tell them like, hey, this is going on. And I just think you all should know this because you might be able to do something with it. On the other end, Connie and them are like, well, we do got this list of names and we're trying to figure that out. Is it all put together? And we start to see the gears turning and we, you know, get to see where this goes beyond that. And at the bottom line, they may think that this all comes back to the Miltons in whole. So, you know, it's a lot of suspicion going on. A lot of strange things happening right now. With that being said, now too, this episode finally catches us back up with that stinger we got from the previous episode where we seen Daryl in his Commonwealth military suit approaching Hilltop. Now we're at that point now where Daryl's trying to come through and he said, you know, it doesn't have to be this way. Oh, I think it does. Talking to Maggie and whatnot, with Lance behind him, getting inside the gates because, as I said, they need to figure out there may be anything in there. And I gotta say, funny thing about this episode, Daryl is in and out of armor like every other scene. Like it's so noticeable because they keep saying like, hey soldier, put your helmet on. Hey soldier, put your armor on. Then it's on, then it's off, then it's on, then it's off. It's just clear that he's just not really a very, you know, protective type of person. He likes to keep his vest and kind of, you know, have a little sense of fashion for the zombie apocalypse out here. You know what I mean? But there's this has nothing to do with anything. Max, we know Max, right? Max is Eugene's new girl, or not new, but actually the right one, should we say? Max is a baddie. Like, yes, I love me some Max, but it's good to see Max getting involved with things and Eugene catching her up with stuff, and you know she's adding her input and he's adding his input, and things are getting interesting. I love me some Max. That's all I gotta say. Also know a little bit about what's next for Alexandria, which is interesting now. Now Max and her brother, we're just gonna say Michael because yes, why not? Max and Michael. I love the ring to that. they have a really deep conversation and things get super interesting, and we really start to see another side of the two of them that we haven't seen, and emotions and all sorts of things come out of this. And yeah, just a different mindset. So their conversations between the siblings, very, very interesting. For real. So now we go to Ezekiel, who is trying to help somebody else with the same blessing he received, a medical procedure. He out here Peter Pan in the healthcare system, and I love this part. Ezekiel's so cool, and I just love seeing him in this capacity. He's been busy, and I think we finally get to see what he's been up to. And Carol too, also been wondering what you been up to, and I think he's going to expose it. And it's incredible, honestly. It's very noble of him. It's very Ezekiel-like, you know? The thing about Hornsby in this episode is he's so clever, and I thought the cinematography made it so interesting. And he really played detective. He was so sleazy at times, and he just really built up these scenes that really made some of these moments so intense, because he's trying to trick people to get information. He even tries to trick Herschel, and that's a no-no. That is a no-no. So a lot of people that's not going to be happy about that, and we're going to see how that all plays out. You know what I mean? And Daryl, I'm just going to say Daryl with a bunch of exclamation points. But ultimately, we know Lance's goal is to figure out who has the guns. I think we know who it is, but does Lance actually figure it out, or does he find out, or does he actually meet this person? That is to be determined in the very last scene of this episode. Does he figure it out? Is he still at bay of not knowing, or does he actually meet this person? And it's definitely a whoa, okay, interesting. Okay. But yeah, folks, I enjoyed this episode. I thought it had a lot of drama, a lot of suspense, and it just was intense at times. And it just was a solid episode, for real. I definitely enjoyed it. But again, this is my review of episode 15 of season 11 of The Walking Dead Trust. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your excitement. Let me know your thoughts, your predictions, your suspicions, and all of that, as we are back next week for another review. Thank you for tuning in, folks.